Hello, welcome back. As you can see, I'm in the Mikoverse. I said I wasn't going to make nothing because I was sick, but I changed my mind. What can you do? Even though I'm sick, I've decided I want to do it because I sorted a couple of things out yesterday, and I thought I'd let everyone know. So, small thing is a big part of Mikoverse is the way it's all set up and how you can import your own characters. It's all based on something called ARKIT. So when you've got your model in Blender, don't worry, I'll show you all in a bit. Once you've got all your model in Blender, there's something called blend shapes. And unless the blend shapes match with the ARKit blend shape, you can't really import your model properly. You can do all the hand movement and stuff like that, but like me speaking and winking and stuff like that, it doesn't really work. Um, but I'll do a quick run through of the different things I've got set up and see if you want any of this. If you've already got a mold that's based on ARKit, whether you've made one yourself or something like that, it's pretty easy, and I'll show you how to do it in a minute. Um, but if you don't, I'll walk you through a couple of steps on how to actually set it up. There's not much else I can really do. It's quite an awkward process, at least it was for me. If you've got a model made in VR Studio or another model that you found online that doesn't work in Mikoverse or something like that, I'll walk you through how to do it. The only thing that I don't really have, I might add in the description later, is the links to setting up the VRM libraries and stuff for Blender and Unity, because they you need to actually transfer it. You'll need a couple of things. One is Blender, and the other one's Unity. And it's pretty simple. Apart from that, like you need plugins, which I know how to do the Unity one. I don't know how to do the Blender one, but I'll quickly run you through it. Anyway, before I get started and show you, I'll show you if you have an ARKit model. It's very simple. I'll just quickly show you. So when you go into the Mikoverse, this is me pressing tab. I'm already in my own sort of environment at the minute, so I'm not in thing. But you'll spawn as a little minion looking thing. I don't remember what they're called, but there's sort of like a little peepo or whatever. But as you can see, you've got all this stuff that you can do. Not all of it works with VMC. So you've got just a mole. Then you've got accents, which is the suit. I'm pretty sure that Miko uses. Sorry for coughing. I can't help it. And you've got all these actions and stuff like that. A good one that I like to do is just the ragdoll. It's funny. And then you've got different walks and different things like that. That's just the basic. But you're here for the avatar stuff. In an offline session, there's currently a bug where you can't access any of the avatars that are provided by Mikoverse. So, to actually fix that, you need to import something. It can literally just be this. I'm not going to show you my model that I've imported because, as I recommended in another video, which I'll link below on how to sort out your model through, what's it called? VR Studio or AR, whatever it's called, the VTuber Studio. That's it. I have a unclothed model, so I can use the wardrobe function. But I'll give you a general idea on how this works. So you get to choose sort of the shadows or shading. You can go for realistic, very cartoony. There's in between stuff and things like that. The one I was just choosing was realistic, but you can choose whatever you fit your model best and what you're feeling like. So how it works is you can choose a local file. This is all hidden so people can stream and things like that without worrying too much. So you can unhide and things like that. I'm not going to unhide because I've got it as a link, which I'll show you how to do very easily. It's already in the Discord, but I'll put it in this video as well. So you can choose a local file, which you need to find a place where you put it in the file. that's fine. I recommend if you're going to choose local, it won't show up on other people's systems. It'll only show up in your own system. If you're going to do local, I recommend putting it all your stuff, wardrobe items, and the model itself in the one folder and sorting it however you see wish, so it's easy to access. On top of that, I also recommend, realistically, if you're going to choose local files, only do it in an offline session for yourself. However, otherwise, I'd skip to the end if you've already got a ARKit model set up, and I'll show you how to use Google Docs or Google Drive to set everything up so that you're able to access and show it to other people on Mikoverse. It's already in the Mikoverse Discord, but that's that. So then, once you've done it, you click Load VRM. It will work, however, as I said before, it's it's naked. Okay, now with the wardrobe, I have not tested out any other models, but I'm using the models I used in my own Unreal Engine that required VRM models. I'm assuming this is the same because for bends to actually work and function, you need to have the same skeleton. At least that was my takeaway when I built my own Unreal Engine system or like environment. So I'm using the exact same models. Same thing again. You can use Google Docs or link it anywhere online. The custom assets, they've just got to be matching the skeleton of the initial thing. With this case, it's going to be a bit awkward because I've not actually put in my avatar. However, if I go on here, click this to make sure it's working, then I click confirm, hopefully it'll load up. I like to click that again just to make sure, but if it doesn't load, I'll cut to it loading. I'll cut to me wearing pants and then it loading in. It does take a while to load, and it can be a bit funky, but that's just okay. I'm back. Now that I'm wearing pants, I'll show you what I mean. As I said, it's got nothing underneath. Because I really wanted to use the function in Mikoverse because it's so nice. The thing about using Google Docs is currently there's no way to store links in Mikoverse. So I do have a notepad with stuff that I've stored on the drive. And then if hopefully this is the same one and not the pants. Okay, I'm back. You won't see it because I'll cut it out, but I had a bit of a crash, which is not uncommon because it's early access. Okay. You get a link, whether it's local or online, put it in, and you click confirm. Last time I broke it because I think I'd done something wrong and I put pants in the top. If not, it's the order. Oh, there we go. It worked. So as you see, that easy, goes in, and then I can run around and get it to work. Nice and easy. Easy done. That's the wardrobe done. Okay, now this is where it's going to get more complicated. This is only possible at the minute using ARKit. However, you can already have your clothes set up and already. The only thing you cannot do is import. While you can import if you really want to, you don't have the blend shapes for the facial features. So my idea is I'm going to go through on Blender and explain what the problem is and how to fix the problem. It is very complicated and not too easy. My recommendation is, one, if you don't already have a model that's ARKit and you don't want to mess with it, find a model that's ARKit ready. If you buy it or like create one or like anything of that sort, or if you buy like a custom one, ask for ARKit and blend shapes. The other option is there's programs out there that help solve this. I'm going to use one of them. It is a free program, but there's another one called NEBTool or something like that I've heard other people use. I did not have the money to affordably pay for it, and I'm not a fan of spending lots of money when I can do it for free. Someone else has made the program, but it is not as simple as I'm assuming NEBTool is. So I'm going to go through that now. I'll see it in Blender. Okay, welcome back. I'm now in Blender. I'm going to show you what the problem is. I don't think you can actually see my cursor, and I'm unsure why. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what the problem is. On this one, this isn't my main thing that I'm using to fix it, so I can't show you the finished product. I might screenshot it and put it into the end software. So what I'll show you now is, if you click on face, you have your VTuber model. You have different like things. There's something called vertex groups, and there's also something called shape keys. These shape keys are here. They have been set up from the VR studio that I used, or whatever. I keep forgetting what it's called. VR studio that you use to create your custom VTuber, and I have imported it into Blender to make custom items and things like that, and mess around with it. But when I put it into Mikoverse, the face didn't track because the whole problem is the shape keys. And another thing to double check is, in VRM, you go to blend shape proxy, so you can mess around with different things in here to try and get it to work. However, it all didn't seem to work for me. So what I needed to do was, I needed to download the program, go into Unity, get the thing with the program, and swap across. So what I'm going to show you now is, I'm going to show you the program that I did use and how to get it to work. Okay, welcome back. This is the file that you will need to download if you want to do this in my way. There's something called the NEBTool. NEBLite is a tool that's similar. I didn't really look into the NEBTool because I knew it was made, and I found this version. So made, and what it does is it copies blend shapes from one model to another model. At least it works with Vroid models. It might work with others, but I've not really attempted it because my model's made in Vroid Studio. So first things first, you can type in 0 and click get now. I'm pretty sure you need an email and something else. It's that simple. It's just you get emailed and you're good to go. And then you can access all the files. There should be a file somewhere called NEBLite. NEBLite.unity package or something along those lines. Or not enough blend shapes community light Unity package. Once you have that, my recommendation is download that. And there's also another file you want to download from that list. It's called reference model for version 1.27 or later, or something along those lines. Once you have downloaded those two, you're good to go. The next thing you need to do is open up Unity, which I'll do now. We are now in Unity. What we need to do in Unity is a couple of things. First things first, if you do not have UniVRM or a way to import your model into Unity, I recommend you figure that out. I think install Unity VRM is all you need to search on YouTube. I'm not going to go through it now because this is going to be a very long video otherwise. First steps first, import your model. VRM, in my case VRM 0, import model. What I've done. And if I go to assets, it is this model. As you can see, it's empty. And then from there, you can also import the other model that you installed with the NEBLite file, which is this model. And then you've also got something called NEBLite that you installed. First things first is you need to go to Asset, Import Package, and Custom Package. Then choose the NEBLite.unity file, or whatever the file I said to install before. I forgot, it's gone off the top of my head. I'm sick, so my memory's not too great at the minute, but I was really passionate about making this video. Then, from this, it is literally very simple. You just need to go on this and do a couple of things with the source and target model. But I'll quickly go over the reason why you're doing this, so you're not confused. I'll double click on the reference model. You don't really need to do this. Only I need to do this and go to face. As you see here, skin mesh render, blend shapes. This is the important part of this whole thing. This is the whole reason we're doing it. This model that you've got from Ko-Fi has lots and lots of different blend shapes. You don't need to use all of them, but you're going to transfer them all onto your model anyway, because this model includes ARKIT blend shapes, which is very important for Mikoverse. There's a lot of messing around to do in Blender after you've done this step, but this is the important part. So that model has those blend shapes, and our model only has FCL blend shapes, which doesn't work in Mikoverse. So what the thing is, the source model is the model with all the blend shapes. So reference model. You drag that from the left all the way to the right and drag it into source model. Then you drag from the left to the right into target model with the name of your model itself. And then what you do is you literally click copy blend shape. A big important thing to notify is when you are making your Vroid model, there's something called transparent meshes. You need to make sure to untick that when you export on your model. If you have not done so, it can be very awkward and this step won't work. I'm going to put a link in the description to the creator of Ko-Fi's YouTube video explaining all the steps of this. If you don't fully understand how I've done it, go over and watch that video and then come back, because he doesn't go over the next step in Blender, which I think was important. Otherwise, it didn't work for me from this step, when it imported it into Mikoverse, it didn't work. It only worked once done the next step in Blender. So if you clicked on copy blend shapes and got an error, it's because you need to re-export your mesh from Vroid Studio. But on the far right, when you export, there's a list of things, and one of them is ticked, and it's called transparent meshes. You need to uncheck that before you export, and then come and do this step again. If it still doesn't work after all that, I recommend going to the creator of NEBLite YouTube channel that'll be in the description and watching over their video and see if I have done something wrong. It is my fault. Let me know in the comments if that is the case, and I'll try and change stuff around and re-upload to make sure it actually works. Otherwise, we're going to go back to Blender now and go through exactly what you need to do. This is going to be really weird, but when I was editing, I missed something. So quickly go back and before you do anything else, export from Unity. And that's what you need to do. Okay, thanks. Okay, welcome back to Blender. I'm going to go through, as you can see, I've already done everything. This is the model that I done. And to be honest, it is very harsh to do it again from scratch. So I'm not going to do it from scratch. I'm just going to show you the results that you should have and show you how to do those results, because it is a very long and arduous process. Okay, first things first, go to File, Edit, go to Edit, Preferences, and search for an add-on called VRM and install VRM's formatting. And if you need to reset, and come back once you've got all that set up. Make sure VRM format is installed. That is very important. Once you've got that sorted, you can import, file, import, and then you go down to VRM and import your VRM. That is first step, easy to do. It'll show up on the right. Delete things that you don't need before you do it if you want to do that. Otherwise, just import it in. Then, the big important thing is open up Armature and click on Face. And you see these 3 squares, the data object. You click on this, and it should look something like this to start with. Then you need to go into shape keys. If your shape keys does not look anything like this at all, I recommend you go back to the last part and try again, or make sure you've imported the correct model. So you need to make sure you've got all the shape keys are being imported. That is very important. If these aren't here, it will not work at all. Okay. Now, another important step is on the actual environment that you're in, not the settings on the right hand side. At the very far right of the environment, underneath options, there is items, tool, view, and if you've installed the VRM help thing properly, you should have a tab called VRM. It is very important that you have this, otherwise it will not work, or at least it didn't for me. Next step is I went through and deleted everything apart from neutral, because I didn't want to mess with neutral. Neutral scared me to mess with. That's my personal preference. Next thing you need to do is, my advice is, there is a link that I'm going to show you right now so that you can understand what you need to do. I'm going to link it in the description because this is very, very important. As you can see, this is ARKIT face blend shape. This is what is required to get them to work in Mikoverse. There's a lot of them. Luckily, the mod that we've just imported has all these blend shapes encased, but you need to do the proxies properly to get them to actually function. So this list, all you need to do is copy the first one. That's simple. And then we go back to Blender, and I'll show you an example. You click on this plus button here on the VRM tab in the main window. You click on this plus button and it'll become new and unknown. Very simple. On the name, I recommend pasting what you've got. It's case sensitive and all that, so I recommend copy and pasting it, just easier. And then you go to bind and you also click plus. You go to the mesh, and it should be face, but if you don't have a VRM model, it could be named something different, or if you already named it, it's whatever the mesh is, the face that contains the shape keys. Whatever contains the shape keys is what the mesh should be. Then once again, you paste, make sure to click. There's all these different ones, but make sure to click the one that is on the ARKit. Otherwise, it may not work. And then once that's done, click up here just to make sure it saves, and you're good to go. Then from there, final step is quite literally, you need to go through on every single one of, you need to go through every single one of these, and do it for all of them in Blender. I tried doing some of them, I tried doing half of them. It definitely did work with only some of them, but if you don't do all of them, your facial features just won't work the way you're expecting it to. So my advice is go through every single one of these. Each step, I'll reiterate once more. You go to VRM, blend shape proxy, you add, copy the name there, and then you come to Blender. Over here, you add a new icon, copy it into the name, and then find face, and then copy the shape key name, and make sure to click the shape key that you've copied. Otherwise, it will not save. That is it for the final steps. That's all you need to do. Each and every single one of them. It's very tedious and it is sort of exhausting, but it is required. At least it was for myself. Then you go to File, Export, you go to VRM, and you export the VRM where you want it to be. And you can sort of generally see the eye movement there real quick when I'm previewing it. Before you finish, I double check by moving something like eye blink right, just to double check it all works. And if that works, you're good to go. That's it. Go into Mikoverse, import locally before you go into the next step. Because the next step is going to be putting it on your drive and showing you how to do all that. I'm not going to show you directly things. I'm going to show you the things you can do to actually make it work. Okay, welcome back. We're still in the same video. It is a very long and arduous video. I might cut this up into multiple videos. But the big thing is I might do one big video and then shorten it down into small little videos so people get exactly what they want from the video. This is a very important step if you want to use it on public Mikoverse lobbies. First things first, my advice is if you've got a website, you can put it all on your own website or something like that. However, if you go to Google Drive, you'll need to sign in. Sign in. It's very simple to do. All you literally need to do is, once the files are there, you need to click on the three dots on the far right or wherever it is. In this case on the mobile, it's there as you can see. Click on the three dots, you go over and click share. And then at the very bottom, there's a thing that anyone with the link can view. It's very important that you put it onto that and then click done. Copy that link, share link, and go to this website that I'll link in the description. Okay, I'm back. The important thing is this site is a Google site. whatever link you get from your sharing URL, you can paste it here and then click on create link. Then you copy the output link. I recommend storing all these output links in like an Excel document or anything of the sort so that you can easily reuse them. At the very least, until Mikoverse has functionality to save links for you to reuse these files pretty easily. But you should do this with your model, any VR including, anything of the sort that you've got. Put them in your drive, share them, make sure, share the link with anyone, copy that same link into here, create the direct link, and the output link works. And then all you need to do is, you'll go back to the Mikoverse. If you want to test the links as you go along, that's fine as well. You just need to come to Mikoverse and import. Well, actually, you can't import in the general lobby. You need to go and host your own thing, offline, online, whatever you see fit for yourself. Go to an online, offline thing. I just chose a random thing. And then import. Okay, you go to import, and we go back to what we've done at the start. Choose a link for your model and load VRM. It's the same process with these. You just need to click on different parts of the body to go where you want them. Simple as that. Very simple, easy. Once you've got this far, it's literally just copying and pasting links into Mikoverse. Once again, I hope this helped. If it's a bit confusing, let me know in the description and I'll remake it so it's less confusing. I just wanted to get this out because I was very passionate about doing it since I've done it originally myself. And it won't just help you, it'll also help me in the future if I forget how to actually do it. And then I won't need to go searching around everywhere again. I can literally just set it all up and get it working. Simple as that. Hopefully this helped. I will be making more Mikoverse content. I will be playing more games in the future. I'm no longer feeling a bit depressed as I was recently. So I'm gonna come along and play a couple of games in the future. One of them, I'm going to play some Call of Duty just because I'm feeling nostalgic about Call of Duty. I'm going to be playing some Path of Exile 2 once that released, and I'm craving it so badly, but I've still got a couple of months away yet. And I might stream those games and then just put some highlights on this channel. So if you're interested in any of that, just subscribe. I might do other Mikoverse related things, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.